I miss so many things going on in my mind. So many things going on in my mind, my mind. So many things going on in my mind. So many things going on in my mind, my mind. Greetings, salutations, and good now. Welcome back to the channel. You already know it's Kevis Major, doing it major. And just like that song said, there's so many things going on in my mind. And right now, each and every one of us, our minds are vulnerable. We could either be versatile or volatile. As we, conclude this Gemini season, we just have about, 7 days. And we also have, a new moon in Gemini. So we have in a little low lunar situation. We're going to talk all about it. Because we know that the final decan is the more mutable decan. And when you have the last decan or the more mutable decan of a mutable sign, then things could get out of proportion. This is where you could get the extremes of Gemini, where people could seem, what's that word? It's the synonym for Gemini. What's that? Two-faced. I'm saying bipolar. I'm saying here, there, and everywhere. We already know that, in this Gemini season, it's about communication, right? And so there's a lot of things being communicated, whether they're useful, helpful, entertainment, or just distractions. There's absolutely a lot happening. I mean, I mentioned it in the last video. I have been withdrawn from the world for quite some time now. But when I say that, I just mean, when it comes to the examples, the prominent examples of what's happening in the world, what's happening in our geographical location. And while I'm on that, I'm in between a rock and a hard place in a type of way when it comes to that very sentiment, because, I'm doing my thing as an astrologer. However, we have a whole world, and there's so much different types of astrology. There's so many different aspects. And so I'm in a rock and a hard place if I want to just keep my readings, general, we're a bit more global, still on the Western astrologer tip, or should we go strictly local and come all the way down, and start bringing the examples or whatever from a local basis, and so yeah, I have I have to think about that situation, because one, you get a bit more local, you could get a bit more relatable, because you speak to the everyday person and what we are all experiencing and what we could all point to as examples. For an example, right? Okay, we got the whole Gemini season crash out. We did a whole video. I could give about a good 3, 4, 5 examples of people crashing out right here, right now, locally. You know what I'm saying? From influencers to, the local celebrities, even politicians and so forth. Also, we could just keep it on a global scale, a world scale, and just look at, the situations and circumstances that are affecting us on a global scale. For example, this is just a light one, because I trade, right? I'm following the prices of gold and so forth. And sometimes you got to follow the news. And so we know that Donald Trump, which is a Gemini, said that he canceled the strikes that he had planned for hitting Iran or what's not, so it's like things still make it on my attention span or what's not, and I do get some information, but again, it's just that catch-22. Like, do we just want to keep it general, or do I want to get more you know, localize. So I need to say about that one, because that's a tricky one. I used to be a bit more, how do I say, forthcoming. I used to be a bit more aggressive with trying to get the information out there, especially for the local community. And it's so crazy that I'm talking about communicating with the local community, big Gemini energy, while I'm just talking about my personal issue. You know what I'm saying? And just to take a step back, like, that's what this final decan in, you know, Gemini is all about. We're learning how to be a bit more versatile, flexible, adaptable. So I'm thinking, oh, how could I, you know, be more versatile, flexible, and adaptable when it comes to the content that I'm doing right now? Like, you guys see how the energies play out, like, in real time, really real. Anyway, in the same vein, this video could sound a bit scattered and disorganized and all over the place, because again, that's just this Gemini energy. But you guys get the sentiment. You guys know what I'm getting at, you know. Well, I'm rolling a spliff, because as you guys could see, my mind is all over the place. My thoughts are a bit scattered, just like the wind. It's quite windy out here today, and it's been windy, you know, for the past couple of weeks, and I've been just craving for some rain. Like, we need a good wash down. Like, ever since my cousin passed away, we haven't gotten any major rain on this side of the island, so I'm really looking forward to just a major downpour. Like, just get something like a nice little tropical depression, not even a tropical storm. Just give us like a little tropical depression, a little rainstorm, you know, because we really need it to, you know, bring some moisture to the scene, because it's quite dry and quite hot. However, it's a quite windy day today. And so, just like, you know, the winds that are all over, so our mind has the potential to be here, there, everywhere, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And we know that wherever our mind goes, our body follows. And so, just like that, you could see that our body, which constitutes our tongue, teeth, vocal cords, you know what I'm saying, or your Twitter fingers, you know what I'm saying, your Twitter fingers, the things that we use to communicate and, you know, get this information out. Things could just be out of whack. Like, and because I'm scientific, I'm trying to give you guys the why it's like this, but it just happens. You know, it just happens. Like, that's just how it is. I guess it's the curious aspect of Mercury. And again, you know, it's one of those fast moving signs. And so it alludes to how we could think and process information real quickly. How just small, you know, bits of information could stimulate our whole body, stimulate our whole nervous system, stimulate our whole mind. It's really incredible. Okay, today we do have Sun in Gemini, Moon in Gemini. So Sun and Moon are conjuncting for this, what is it called, a lunar eclipse, this lunar event, partial lunar. It's going to be in its height on Sunday, Monday, and so we're still preparing for this new moon in Gemini, setting our intentions, just thinking about the things that we're trying to manifest, going into the Cancer season or going into the summer. For me, I don't even know if I want to tell you guys what I'm trying to manifest. There's something about speaking things into existence. That's true. But here in the Caribbean, why we got to think about saying things before we actually do it, you know? Like, keep it in your mind, keep it in your heart, keep it in the private, you know what I'm saying, until these things really come to life. You don't want to be putting your intentions out there for people to sabotage them, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, me, myself, I have some new intentions, new things that I'm trying to attract, new things that I'm trying to manifest. Today is going to be a day filled with magic because Saturday, Saturn's day, a good day for boundaries, restrictions, limitations. So today, tomorrow is a good day for casting. I'm going to attempt to do some casting because John knows that we need as much power and as much energy as possible. So we're going to be doing some casting. I already got my candles, I already got my herbs, I already got my salt, pepper, and some. And the other little items I'm gonna need, a little scissor, a little knife, a little lighter. I'm saying little things that we're gonna need just to make sure that we have a physical representation of what we are doing in the mind. So many things on my mind. And the reason why I gotta come out here and just light up, aka lighten the mood, aka lighten the mind and the heart space, is that there's so many things on my mind. However, going into a new moon, which is a new mood, a new emotion, a new intention, a new chapter of this story that we are all participating in, just like how we are going into the new moon, is the same way we need to clear our minds, and just have those singular intentions. No, it's hard because we're participating in the world and we got our duties, responsibilities, we got our job, and all of the other host of things that we occupy ourselves with. However, we know that leading up to the new moon, it's about planting new intentions, and so you don't want to muddy your manifestations, muddy your intentions, muddy what you're trying to attract with having too much things on your mind. Having too much things on your mind. So hopefully you guys were planting the right seeds and carved out a nice little, space or time for yourself where you could really put in some mental and emotional work into what you're trying to attract. Like doing, I don't even want to say that word, but manifesting or attracting things, it takes energy. It takes your thought. It takes having clarity as to what you want, and you need to take time because you need to be specific. You need to be so specific. Like, the universe doesn't play, man. It doesn't play, so you got to be real specific as to what you're asking and what your intentions are. For example, let's say you want to have a good physique. You want to have some muscles, right? Strong muscles, powerful muscles. Some people would just say, yo, I want to be strong, right? I want to be strong. So the universe is saying, okay, you want to be strong. You are strong. We bless you with strength. And it's like, okay, I don't feel any different. Cool. So now the universe goes and give you like a situation or circumstance or opportunity for you to test or show your strength. So in your mind, you're saying, man, I want some muscles. But you tell the universe you want to be strong. Better believe some adversities, some trials and tribulations are coming your way. Better believe it. Because you told the universe you're strong. So we're going to test you. We're going to test that theory. We're going to send you some tests and, trials to see how strong you actually are. Because you said you want to be strong. Universe don't really hear the word wanna. They just say, I be strong. Okay, I'm strong. Okay, let's test that theory, So that little example is just to show you guys, that when it comes to these type of things, we gotta be Pacific. Pacific. I know the word is specific, but let me freak, man. We gotta be Pacific. You gotta be Pacific like the ocean. And so another thing which takes a lot of energy too is your visualization and imagination. And that's why it's super, super important. Super, super important to tune out the screens, you know, and just protect your mind, because when it's time to use it, use your imagination, use your power of visualization, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got too many things on your mind, too many things in your mind. So when you close your eyes, you know, you're trying to meditate, you're trying to create that blank canvas, trying to blank out so you could project into that blank canvas your intentions, you know, the things that you want to attract. You got all kind of filth, all kind of bullshit popping up on your mind. You know what I'm saying? So that's another gem leading up, because we're preparing for this new moon. You gotta try to clear your mind. You know what I'm saying? Gemini is all about the mind. So you gotta clear it. Hold on, let's sip some tea. Preparing to do some casting. So from what I understand, you know what I'm saying, from the ancestors and from my predecessors and stuff like that, you gotta consume the herbs that you're gonna be using. You know what I'm saying? So today we're gonna be working with some lemongrass, some basil, some mints. So you gotta drink it as well. Woo! What a strong gust of wind. What a strong gust of wind. Okay, so today is gonna be quite a busy day for me. Guys, expect multiple drops or multiple uploads in this period, in this space. I'm really trying to clear my mind. You know, just on Monday, I buried my cousin, my baby Oni, who was only 4 years old. He's gonna make 5 in Libra season in September. And there's also another, I don't even want to say, well, I guess it's an associate affiliate, because it's a group, another young fellow passed away, younger than myself, and we didn't have a great, you know, connection, but we were in like a sports club together, and I just went to a funeral, and I don't want to go to another funeral. Like, there's so much things I want to handle in my personal life, but you know, I kind of have this that I should go to the, you know, and it's like, man, should I go? Should I not go? Should I just prioritize myself? So many things on my mind. And that's a whole different kind of worms in terms of like funerals. And I was telling my friend, you know, life is really for the living, because the guy who I'm contemplating going to the funeral, he's gone. He doesn't know if I show up to his funeral. He doesn't care. He's already in another life. And so we're here having these, you know, internal conflicts about what we should do, what we shouldn't do, pertaining people who are already dead. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing that matters is how the other living people feel about it. So, you know, just another example of the kind of things that are on my mind. And is it my role as an astrologer, a young astrologer, to show up to these type of events? Like, is this a part of my role or journey? You know what I'm saying? Or is that something I want to be a bit more mutable, flexible, and adaptable with, like taking on these type of, you know, activities or whatever? It's, I don't know. It's just something on my mind, I'm saying. So if you made it this far in the video, drop a comment down below, man, and let me know what's on your mind leading up to this new moon in Gemini. Just a few more hours until we really experience it. And so, again, one, it's crash out season, right? I made a whole video about that, so you could go check that out. We don't want to be crashing out leading up to this full moon. Two, we don't want to have too much stuff on our mind that's going to muddy up the manifestations, you know, the castings that we're going to be doing, etc, etc, etc. And then also, we're kind of already sort of looking ahead to the Cancer season as well, because we just have a few more days or a few more degrees. So today, I'm probably going to make another video about the new moon in Gemini. maybe something a bit more official, because this one is just a bit yippy yappy, you know. So maybe make something more official. We need to do the weekly forecast, and then, you know, kind of looking ahead towards the Cancer season and everything that's going to be happening there. We have some big aspects happening later in June, so we need to stay on top of, you know, all of the forecasting and everything. Also, you know, still need to sort out what reading we're going to be doing for the Cancer season. Maybe you guys could help me out, so drop another comment down below. Let me know what kind of reading we should do. I want to do 4 free readings. So today I'm going to make that announcement and, you know, sit down, clear my mind and put it out there. Strong emphasis on clearing the mind right now as we move into this new moon. Just kind of focus on those intentions, man. You don't want to, again, muddy the waters. You don't want to be crashing out, you know. And so, yeah, clearing the mind. Let me go clear my mind right now. Clear the mind. Alright, so just some routine things about the new moon. New vibes, new moon. So it's always a good time for cleaning, you know, freshening things up. I don't want to say buying new things, but if you got that new shirt or that new thing, you could go whip it up right now. You know what I'm saying? On the new moon, especially if it's in the same theme of the moon. So if it's a new book, a new pen, a new story, you know, a new car, new shoes, you know, things that help us to move or help us to communicate, you know. Even your style, you want to switch up your style. And I'm saying new moon is just about, you know, that new energy, right? Also, what about the old energy? Yeah, there's a certain level of release as well, where the old activations, you know what I'm saying, we gotta go just kind of put those energies to rest as we conclude. So when things are transitioning or ending, yeah, because if there's a new moon, then what happened to the old moon, right? It's transitioning as well. So there's certain things that are being transitioned, certain things that are being released or that were being released from the full moon, and so we still need to be doing that in tact, right? Earlier we alluded to just the whole funeral, you know, laying things to rest, and so we want to be having good funerals for the people, places, things, circumstances, and situations that, you know, we are laying to rest, we are moving away from, we are transitioning from as we move into this new chapter. All right. Gotta believe it, man. All right, so I think that's about it for the things that were really on my mind. I think making this video kind of allowed me the opportunity to just express some stuff I don't want to say, because we want to keep that concealed for the private life. And, you know, just like you might have things that you want to manifest, things that you're trying to achieve. There's certain things that you could share, but certain things you need to keep it concealed, you know what I'm saying? Keep that between you and God. That way, you know, you could protect, you know, what you're doing, and again, don't muddy the waters. However, it could be a hindrance, you know. Sometimes you express things and people are able to help you and support you and champion you, but, you know, I just know that there's certain things I just want to keep low-key, keep it on the down low, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how you crash out during the season, saying too much, posting too much, trying to expose things, trying to reveal too much things. Again, Gemini is about communication, and so how could you communicate, how could you process information, share information in a more sustainable way that works better for you and others, you know, so you don't have to give up as much esoteric juice to the world to receive, you know, the same benefits. Okay, we're gonna end the video for now. Major farewell until we meet or greet again. And I'll see you guys soon.